Well, for Vegas fans, it never gets old seeing those images and the moments that defined their run all the way to winning the Stanley Cup. So here is how everything shook out in the regular season. Golden Knights ended up not only winning the division, but took the #1 seed in the Western Conference, which certainly helped them in their quest for the Stanley Cup. But the question now is always, what have you done for me lately, right? So we're going to go into next season, and everyone's going to expect them to back it up. So you know they've got the target on their back. Every team is going to want to take down the defending Cup champs night in and night out. Do you think that they are still the team to beat, at least in the Pacific?
I do. I think you have to knock whoever's at the top of the mountain. You're going to have to knock them off. And there are a lot of years, there's changes when you have success in a hard salary cap. You got to make some moves, and they wanted to bring back Barbashev. They had to lose Riley Smith. I think the changes were minimal. I think they found something, a certain way to play. Bruce Cassidy did an unbelievable job, especially as the year went on and in the playoffs, of a recipe for success with center depth and great defending and some goaltending that they found along the way from a number of different guys. So I really like their team. They might not win the division, but they probably will. I think they're going to make a lot of noise in the playoffs, and they're the team to beat throughout the year and into the playoffs.
Yeah, and then you always will have Connor McDavid's team in the mix, right? And they're certainly going to try to vie for that division crown as well. But then the Kings are kind of an interesting case study because they made a big splash bringing over Dubois, and a number of other guys as well. Cam Talbot, they're hoping will stabilize things as well in goal. So do you think the Kings have a shot at kind of putting the pressure on Vegas in the division?
I do. I mean, Kopitar is an unbelievable talent. He has been Hall of Fame player, I think, in my opinion. They bring Trevor Lewis back, who I played with way back when, before the internet, like I said, in L.A. But Pierre-Luc Dubois, I think their center depth's outstanding. I think he's still getting a lot out of Drew Doughty. That's a team that has winners on it, and they're going to be tough to beat in the Pacific as well.
Yeah. I mean, how much do you think, in your experience, winning a division ends up helping your path? You know, this year, as we mentioned, the Golden Knights won the division. They were the #1 seed. But we've also seen, I mean, the Kings, going back a few years, being the 8th seed to win the Stanley Cup. So do you think that winning the division is important? Or is it truly a second season and not as important as we might think?
I think you try to, and it's a goal you set out at the beginning of the season. You want to try to win your division. You want to be the best team in your division and have home ice advantage in the playoffs. But it's not the ultimate goal. You play in these divisional games. They're obviously sort of rivalry games, especially if you've played these teams in the playoffs. But if you have that extra game at home, sometimes it's a help. You definitely want to be at home for a Game 7, hypothetically. But you know, you set out these goals, and they're a little bit smaller. And as you go along the year, they get bigger and bigger. Win a round in the playoffs is bigger than winning a division.
Right.
You know, win your conference is bigger, and then obviously you want to win the cup. So it's on the radar, but I don't think it's the be-all, end-all.